So I will be starting kind of segment my YouTube channel where once in a while I will go to the comments on the videos and my post on my YouTube channel. If I see one that is worthy to respond to, that is, if there's a question that what responding to, or I will, use that opportunity to teach people some stuff on Peugeot vehicles. I will do a video on that. So if you have you have question concerning Peugeots or inquiries that and you can't afford the 2,000 naira consultancy service for response to questions, you can post it on my YouTube videos or post on my YouTube channel. So I'll later go through them, maybe a day or two, and respond to the ones that probably I've not done before, or I believe people will learn from. If it's something that I could, you just easily respond on to the question right there, on the video. That is the post where the person posted the question. Okay, so now concerning this one, it reads this was posted 2 days ago. So it reads, "Hello, sir. Thanks for your advice on Peugeot cars. I really appreciate it. Please, what do you think about Peugeot 406 Coupe? I would love to get one soon, and I've been told that the car is very rare to find, especially a good one. I would love to hear from you. Thanks." Okay, now Peugeot 406 Coupe. In fact, before I even go into that, vehicles or coupe, or vehicles that are in coupe shape, or two-door vehicles are not usually as common as the saloon or station wagon counterparts. It's not just Peugeot, so they're not always that common. Anyway, okay, let me just limit it to Peugeot, since I can't really authoritatively speak on other brands, since I have limited knowledge on them. So for Peugeot, they are two-door vehicle models. For example, 307, it has a coupe as well, two-door. Then convertible, but just specifically the coupe. So their coupes are not, especially for second hand, they are not that common. That's anytime you want to buy, you can easily find them. No. So yeah, so same thing with the 406. So they are not that common. It's not like you won't find if you're actually serious and focus, and if you want it, you get it. But then it's not something you just say, I want it now, it's right there. So yes, I'm not that common. Now he said, what do I think about Peugeot 406 Coupe? I want to believe you want to know my perspective on the car, how good it is. I don't know if you want me to compare it with the saloon model. Anyway, okay, so what I would say is this: Peugeot 406 Coupe, of course, the production started as early as 95? I think up to 97 or 96. I've forgotten. I know, they started late, sometime in the middle of the 90s or late 90s. That's when the production started. So at least I know for a fact they had 97 model Peugeot 406 Coupe. So up to 2004. So I think the productions actually stopped in 2004. That's when they stopped. The early, it can be difficult to actually tell the 95 to 98, and then from 99 to 2004. Remember, Peugeot 406 generally was facelifted from 99 to 2004. So, what happened was, for the coupe version, the facelift was also done on it, but then it, it was mostly in the interior, not the exterior. So it may not be easy identified but on the exterior for a lot of people. I'm talking about the phase one, phase two. So but point is, on the exterior, they are basically just the same. There could be just one or two. Honestly, I've never actually paid attention to those little differences on the exterior. Yeah, I know there will be, but I'm just not gonna lie. I've never paid attention because generally they all look the same. But then I know there will be a slight difference. It could be like the rear lines might differ a little or something, or the bumper. I don't know, whatever it is, but I know they all look the same. Unlike the saloon that, it's so obvious. The facelifter is completely different from the pre-facelift. That's 95 to 98. Okay, so the interior will change for the facelifter model to almost same with the D9. That's the phase 2 saloon. So the coupe is as good as the saloon, likewise station wagon. Of course, like the people call it, in terms of practicality, the saloon will serve you better, but generally it's not everybody that even care about those things. Someone like me, I really don't care anymore, as a celibate. I don't need cars with $1 billion or seats. What matters to me is just the driver's seat. Probably the passenger seat, because it's a car I will have to be driving myself. So, if that is what you want, then that shouldn't be a problem. If you don't really care about how many people maybe you are, say, a bachelor or married but not with kids, or your kids are still small, or you want to add it as one of your cars, that even though you have other cars, okay, or whatever, if you like what you like or love what you love. So I don't need to start telling you if salon is better for you or this and that. So the interior, the dashboard is basically the same. The front seats and the rear seats, of course, are different. The coupe are more comfortable on their seats are more comfortable, just like every other Peugeot coupes. You sit, when you sit on them, you sit kind of a little bit inward below, as if you. I like that the coupe design for Peugeot cars. Not the type that when you sit inside it will take you up like a saloon. You sit up. This one you sit in. So just like that. The mechanicals basically the same. I'm talking about the engine. For example, the Coupe 406 petrol. We are talking about petrol now. You find four petrol engines. From 90. Okay, let's just leave it at five petrol engines from 95 or 96, 97, whatever. That's the phase 1 to phase 2, 2004. So depending on what you want. Now, the phase 1, you'll find 2.0 liter, that's EW SU10J4R, and what's this V6 engine, that's ES9J4. I'm not so sure that there's a turbo engine that was mounted in phase 1 406. I'm not sure that they also mounted it in the coupe. It's possible, but I'll just limit it at 5, the one I'm very sure of, that I've seen as all this while in Nigeria. All the coupe I've seen even worked on is only these 5 engines. So the SU10J4, which 2.0, has about 134-liter engine, and the ES9J4 engine, which is a V6 engine. So you can get automatic or manual in both engines. So then the phase 2, 99 to 2004, you find EW10. In fact, let's just start for like 2000, from 2000 upward. You find only 3 engines. That is EW10 J4 2.0-liter engine, 2.2-liter engine, which is EW12 J4, and then the 3.0-liter engine, which is ES9J4S, is a V6. So the 2.0-liter engine and the DINA, that's EW10J4, and the ES9J4, that's the V6 one, they have option of manual and automatic. So but for the 2.2 is only manual, you won't find automatic there. So what else? Like I said, it's just basically the same thing with share the same mechanical, similar suspension, shock absorber, basically the same. I mean, when it comes to maintenance of the mechanical, it's just the same. Maintenance costs, the durability, everything is just the same with the saloon and station wagon. The only difference is the brakes on the coupe. The coupe brakes, the V6 one, they have Brembo braking systems in the front, which make it more powerful. They are performance braking systems. So I can't say for the fact that all the V6s have it, but basically all the ones I've seen is like more like a standard on the V6 coupe, especially the phase 2, the D9 or 406 coupe V6 phase 2, 2000 to 2004. They all have or at least by standard they have that Brembo. The Brembo calipers are about 4 pistons on each wheel, with bigger brake disc and bigger brake pads, front brake pads. So they are much powerful, to the point that I have to even convert it to my saloon. So that's how good they are. Very powerful. So that's the advantage if you are buying a V6 406 coupe. At least that phase 2. Maybe the phase 1 also has it, but I can't remember, or I can't confirm it now. So that's the advantage for the coupe has over the petrol, over the saloon. Every other thing about 406, you can watch all my videos or read the articles. They are just the same. Now, there's one point I'll need to make here concerning the coupe in the terms of maintenance costs, and that is the bumpers, the front and the rear bumpers. They are major weakness. 2 of them are major weaknesses of 406 coupe. So if you want to buy 406 coupe, you need to have that understanding that you are going to have it all depends on how you drive or the type of person you are. In other words, let me put it in a simpler way. If you are buying a 406 coupe, you have to be ready to pamper the vehicle. Pamper the exterior of that vehicle. If you are the type that like doing bumper to bumper drive, or the type that likes struggling for load in the city when you are driving on the street, inside the city where there's traffic, you can't, you're right. You won't allow another person who wants to struggle, even though, yes, you are right, but you want to struggle with other people, put your drive very rough, try not don't let anybody pass you. uh, you will regret owning a Peugeot 406 Coupe. Why? Their bumpers, the front and rear bumpers, are very fragile. Very, very fragile. Up to now, I still don't know what they were produced with. Very fragile. It's as if they are, what's it called? Glasses. Any small thing that touches them, they are gone. They will just scatter, as in break from the top to the bottom. It has to be very minor something for you to just crack halfway. They are that fragile. And then guess what? They are not easily available. You might say, okay, if it breaks, you buy another one. You search the whole Abuja, you won't find one. When I'm talking about searching, I'm talking about getting a good one. No? Remember, it's not about any, because, of course, you could find one they scrapped or removed from a scrap vehicle, which may even be worse than your own that broke. But to get one that is still intact, you may search the whole Abuja, you won't find. The whole Lagos, you won't find. The whole Kaduna, in fact, probably you try everybody you know, or you don't even know, that sells Peugeot parts, both brand new and used. At that moment, you may not find it. Weeks, days, months later, maybe at some point they will now say, oh, somebody now has it. And the person is probably in Kaduna or in Lagos, or you're in Abuja. How much do you think the person will say to you? In other words, the last time I even knew the price of, is it the front bumper or the rear bumper? I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. They were then, say someone in Lagos had it, and they were selling each of them, I think, 95,000 naira or so. That was then, not to think of now. So what you now realize is almost all 406 coupe you will find on Nigerian roads, almost every one of them, their bumpers are out of shape, because when they break, because even when they're available, the owners may not be able to afford them, so they will have to take it to people that repair bumpers. And because of the like I say, it's very fragile. Sometimes while trying to repair it, is breaking as well. So it's a very delicate thing that even after they manage to put it together, paint it, it will be out of shape, because they have to use a body filler or something, trying to make all those spaces that are broken to not to be visible, but to go out of shape. And remember, people love 406 coupe for this shape. So once that shape is no longer there, it may not be desirable. So if you are buying 406 coupe, you have to understand that. That's why I say you have to pamper it. Now, I've seen people, one or two, and I won't say a few, I just say like one or two, that actually pamper theirs. Their bumper still stays intact. But if you're buying Nigerian use, I'm not sure. You see, if you're buying Nigerian use, just have a back of your mind that don't bother to look for one that's bumper is still intact. Just find out how much they sell bumper while you are searching for gas, so that as you buy, you can now swap it. It's very difficult to find one that the bumper is still okay. So that is just it. Like I say, it's all about discipline. I can own it, and years after years, if you see it, anytime you see it, the bumper will still be intact. Ask people who know me, the way I drive, why I'm in the city, inside town, inside the city. People, even as I'm driving, they will be cursing me, because they expect me to be rough by them, doing bumper to bumper drive. So when they realize this guy is not moving, they'll find a way to overtake and then curse you for being trying to slow them down or prevent them from doing just their rugged this thing in the city. But the funny thing is, they are cursing you. If you look at their vehicle, it looks like, I don't even know, cockroach house. every part of the body of the car, they've been batched. If I saw, you see different kind of colors, different batches from different vehicles. Their color will be showing all those places they batch. Every week, every 2 weeks, they are repairing their bumpers. Every now and then, they are repairing their bumpers. You look at mine. So that's why I don't bother. You do your thing at the end of the day. If you want to show me you know how to drive, let's enter the express. That's who I am. That's where I will show you my strength. But inside the city, I couldn't be that stupid to drive that way. Because I value my car. Knowing that doing all this bumper to bumper will wreck it. That's how, so you have to be that type. You have to be willing to pamper the car if you want that car shape to always stay the way you like or value the car. So that's one big weakness or weaknesses of the 406 Coupe, their bumpers. I think Peugeot realized that, and when they now did the 407 Coupe, they now made it to be strong as the saloon one. Because the saloon and the station wagon bumpers, 406 bumpers, I mean, a car could even hit yourself. They are not, it may not even show. Even if you show, just be a scratch, depending on the speed or the impact. So they are that strong compared to the Coupe. The Coupe one is just a mess. Maybe they did it intentionally, I don't know, but then there was no market. If they were producing it and people, if they break people, but it's as if they just released the vehicle. There was they were not producing new ones for people to buy. So even the one you find in the market will be used. No matter how, this one I was talking about, searching for, it has to be used one, like Tokumbo ones. So that is the only downside you gain on the Coupe. Other than that, it's a very good car. Just like 406, I already talk about how good 406 are and the rest. So that's what you're also going to enjoy in owning the Coupe, as long as you know the issue with the bumpers, front and the rear, not just the front one. Now, just like I did a video on 407 Coupe, mention one of the weaknesses, which is the passenger front seat. I'm not saying 406 Coupe doesn't have that kind of problem, like the seat adjusting by itself while the vehicle is in motion. But what I do know is, because it's a Coupe, remember, it's 2-door. So to access the rear seat, you will have to move the front seat forward. So if you can get the one that has manual, if you can get one with the manual seat, personally I prefer it be better for you. The electric seat is fine. It has so many things you can use it for. You can save the memory so that even if anybody readjusts the seat, once you press that memory, it will return the seat to the position where you set it. And even the mirror, not just the seat, the rear view mirrors, the one on the windscreen, they will just reset it themselves. So, my point is, if you can get the manual, remember, to get to the severity, you have to be, the 407 on, they did it in such a way that it will automatically move. Once you want to access the rear seat, it will move by itself, move forward. If you enter, it will go back on its own for the electronic ones. But for 406, I don't think it does that. So you have to now manually operate the electronic switch for it to move forward. So all these things over time may wear out the switch or the motor under the seat that moves the seat forward, and then it may become, if they just stay stuck somewhere, you won't be able to return it. But the manual one is much easier to access, to move. So that's how I believe it. For me, if I have the option, I would choose the manual seat. So, but hey, if you don't, that how you want to use the car, people won't be accessing the rear seat all the time. fine, go ahead and get the. It's sweet. Don't get me wrong. Electronic seat is very sweet. Like I said, you have to. It has some advantages over the manual one, in terms of adjusting the mirrors, this and that, and moving the seat. But then understand, as these cars age, some of these things, if you keep operating those electronics every now and then, they wear out, and then getting another one, sometimes you'll be forced to change the entire seat. So those are the things you need to know. I don't think there's any other thing. The 406 are just 406, irrespective whether coupe, saloon, they are just one of the best cars Peugeot ever produced. You need to use one to understand. But I understand that people also abuse their cars or purchase abused ones, so they will have different experience to what I'm saying. Their experiences will most likely be negative. But people who actually don't abuse their cars, you just have to. Of course, it's just, it's a car you find very difficult to sell. If you own 406, all you'll be thinking about is how can you make more money to be able to buy another car so you can keep the 406 forever. That's how good 406 is. It's just like people that have sold 504 back then that are now regretting. That's the point. That's just 406 for you. So it's a very good car if you can get it. So same thing with coupe, 406, coupe, saloon, station wagon, basically the same. The coupe is like a sportier, so it's meant, designed, serve you. People, it depends on the look. Me, I prefer the saloon look. Some people prefer the coupe. Some prefer station wagon. So everybody have their taste and what attracts the kind of car shape that attracts, that they find attraction or attractive, right? Now for the hinges, mechanicals, talked about the gearbox. I know I've been doing videos. Most of this thing. I don't know if you want the phase 1 coupe, 406 coupe. You won't find EW10 there. If you're interested in the newer engine in 406, you won't find it. You won't find EW12 in there. I'm talking about 95 to 98, you won't find those engines there. You won't find ES9J4 SVCC engine there. So if you want these 3 engines I mentioned, then you go for at least from 2000 to 2004. But if some people even like the SU10J4R, that's the older 2.0 liter engine. According to them, that is more stronger, more durable. And those people, sometimes I don't even understand. People have their beliefs anyway. So if you want that, you go for it. It's as good as EW10J4. It's also as fuel economical as EW10J4. If you want the older V6 engine, you can go. But understand that all these SU10J4, ES9J4 V6 engine, these older engines, their parts are not easily available. Yeah, you can still get them, but they are not easily available. Most times, you find that almost like 90% of the parts on that engine, you end up buying them as second hand. You won't be able to find new ones again. The only new one you may find will just be, most times, will be fake. In fact, it's like saying buy new one. It will not be like, I don't know how to put it. That if you even find one, so use one, it becomes more desirable. And for example, the other day was somewhere they were talking about the SU10J4 engine, and the part seller was saying, wow, to find that engine is not easily available. In fact, at the moment, at that time, that was like last month, that wasn't even available in any part of Abuja, because people have been calling to find who want to buy to replace the engine. So that's what I'm saying. So if the engine is not available, the used Tokumbo engine, how do you think they will get the parts to sell? Unless they will now remove parts from a scrapped vehicle in Nigeria, the one they use that probably is already about to fail. So that's one thing you should understand. But the engine itself is very good, you know. It's very good. It doesn't mean it's better than the EW10J4. No, I don't understand why people made that comment. So same thing with the ES9J4 as well. So the EW10J4, EW12J4, and ES9J4, that's V6. For me, that's where I will pick. The parts are available new and used. Yeah, most parts are fake, but at least they are there. Used ones are also there, so that's the thing. In terms of the transmission, the one in the EW10J4, the automatic they mounted there is AL4. Remember, they also have a manual option because in case you want the 2.0 with a manual, it's there, but the 2.2 they are all manual. The 2.0 have option of manual, automatic. The V6 option of manual, automatic. The automatic gearbox in the V6 is 4 HP 20. Now these two automatics gearboxes, AL4 and 4 HP 20, they don't like heat. That's the same one you find in this 406 Saloon Station 1. They don't like excess heat. I'm not saying heat, but I'm saying excess as in. So if you must drive the automatic, drive them slow. I'm not saying slowly, but don't push them hard like manual users do on their own. Once their ATF heat up excessively, because once you do it, your ATF will go excessively high and the gearbox will start messing up. So even if maybe you need to kick down, press the throttle down to the floor, fine. When you do it, don't let it stay there for too long. You want to do quick overtaking, fine. Do it, take your leg off. Immediately you do the overtaking, take it off. Don't drive it the way it's sweet. Don't drive it for, if you want to do 250 kilometers per hour with it, with the automatic, fine, go ahead. Just do it gradually, let it go up on its own, gradually until you get to the speed you want. If you go and do it the way manual users can push from gear 1, keep the RPM going up constantly for close to 1 hour, 2 hours, just start thinking about buying another gearbox. I'm just being open here so that you won't say you are deceived. These gearboxes that don't like rough use, push them too hard, they will pack up. That's just it. So you can travel with them, do everything, but you have to let it come up on its own. If you want quick acceleration, do it after a while, take your air off. Don't stay too long trying to push it hard. You can, like I said, you can speed with it, but let it come out gradually so that the gearbox will not overheat excessively high. The temperature will not go excessively. Once you start pushing car too hard, pushing the RPM up, heat, keep building. Remember, it's the engine cooling system that cools the ATF in these two automatic gearboxes. So when you start pushing the engine very hard, or pushing like manual people do, the engine cooling system will get heat very, very high, which the engine is even meant to handle. They are designed to handle all sorts, but the gearbox will not handle it well. That's the thing. I said I'll do video on how you can manage it so that the temperature will stay very low. When I have time, I'll do it. There are other options, like I install the aftermarket air cooling system, so I won't use the engine cooling system. That one is there too, but cost fortune to do that kind of conversion. So if you want automatic, at least you know what it takes. The cost of the ATF, you have to be changing the ATF every 30,000 kilometers or even below, if depending on you. With the recommended one, which costs more than those other ones that people use that damage their gearboxes. If you want the manual, wow, we don't have any problem. You just anyhow you want to do those ones. Unless if you are not good with manual gearboxes, manual transmission, then you'll be burning your clutch every now and then. But if you are someone like me that mastered manual, can drive it for 10 years, 300,000 kilometers, your clutch should stay intact. at least 200,000 kilometers. Your clutch system, talking about the pressure plate, the friction plate, the release bearing, they should be able to last you. Should be able to last you years, no matter how hard you push them. Or if you don't know how to drive and you burn off your clutch, So that's the thing about. So I think this is enough. So if I have any more, or I find any other question that, or I have any other thing that comes up regarding 406 coupe, I'll talk about it. But like I say, it's just like 406 saloon and this thing, they are just as good as just different body design. And 406 coupe is sportier, stuff like that. Okay, so that's all.